Welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is, and I have to laugh because I practiced how to pronounce the name, is Kjirsten.
Yes,
Oh, and I'm
you
so
got
happy
it.
that you said yes. Wow, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, thank you for saying yes. And I want to introduce you a little bit to the audience. So, you are
Sure.
the founder of Uncommon Wisdom, a visionary leader dedicated to creating a platform that empowers spiritual teachers. That is really interesting, healers, speakers, and awakened entrepreneurs to share their wisdom and gifts with the world. Wow, I love that so much. And you are from or streaming from Vancouver, Canada. Is
Canada.
that right?
Yes, yes,
Wow, and you told me your name is Norwegian.
yes. So my whole family is from Norway, but they moved over to Canada and to the United States when we were very young. So I grew up in Vancouver, Canada. But in regards to the platform, that came about because when I was 21 years old, I had a spiritual awakening that was very, very vast. And I basically had what we would call a Kundalini awakening, and energetically and consciously, I woke up and I sort of merged with what I would call life. And I was at a point where I couldn't tell the difference between myself or anything else. Everything was just energy. And so I realized that we were all one in that moment, that we were all connected and just deeply connected. Just many people had forgotten who they were. And so I spent the next 15 years studying with everybody who could kind of help me figure out what had just happened. So the mystics and the shamans and the yogis and the Buddhists and Eckhart Tolle. I spent years working with his team, and I just absorbed the wisdom that was there. And I realized that one of the things that was missing when I first started my journey was that there was nowhere for me to go to find a teacher who could help me with awakening and who could help me with the spiritual path. And so I just decided that, if you combine the heart and the mind and technology together as one, we might be able to create something amazing. And so we decided to create the Uncommon Wisdom platform. And Uncommon Wisdom is it's really about bringing forth your wisdom that's deep within, underneath the layers of conditioning, underneath the illusion of separation, and pulling that forward so that you can be of service in the world in a greater way. So that's the platform.
I love your explanation. I understood it. This is so it's clear for me. I'm happy. I'm happy about that because only 2 days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, I came across a video about this Kundalini, how do you pronounce it, experience? But you
Kundalini.
mentioned, yeah,
Yes.
and someone explained it, and yeah, exactly. It's about, would you say it's, yeah, the unity, you experience the oneness with
Yes.
everything there is. So this
Yes.
is, and my question, oh, I have so many questions.
Yeah.
You want to-
Bring them on.
it is like, when you experience this, of course, you want to explain to others, or you want others to feel it the same way, or to have this experience. Would you say, because I cannot imagine how words can describe it,
Yeah.
and can
It's
you is it worth seeking for it, or do you
Oh,
have
de so yeah, so okay, so there are many different types of spiritual awakenings and many different types of, enlightenment has many layers to it, all the way from, initial, oh my gosh, I'm connected to everything, I'm God, source, Buddha, whatever you want to call it, it's the same thing. It just has different tags, and I call it intelligence because you can't tag intelligence that's that vast you can't put it into a box, but we try. Is it worth going after? Absolutely, because what you realize is you realize your soul. You realize who the truth of who you are is, and that's what this whole game is about: is actually being incarnated and being a spirit, a soul in a physical body, having a human experience. And most people have forgotten that, and that's why there's so much anxiety on the planet. There's a lot of depression on the planet. There's a lot of worry and things like that because we've forgotten who our true nature is. So for me, I had an explosion. Like, it just exploded me open for a reason. I think to be of service to humanity, However, it doesn't have to happen that way for everybody. Kundalini can rise in slow ways. It may not rise up very much at all. There's the Buddhists don't even talk about Kundalini. They talk about they do different practices as well. So what I'm a really big fan of is finding the practice that works for you. And it's all about the mind and settling the mind so that we're not in discord with the mind any longer. Most people are at odds with their mind. They're fighting their mind. They're battling their mind. And what we end up doing is we end up suppressing a lot of subconscious material that's actually covering our true nature. And it's only because as a child, oftentimes we went through things that we didn't know how to deal with. And so we just, as a form of protection, we just sort of stuffed it down and try to keep ourselves safe so that we could navigate this big world that we live in. But now what happens later on in life is it starts to come up. And so as it comes up, now is the time to have the tools and the teachings on how to deal with anything that's unresolved within our being. And from there, really looking inside ourselves and questioning, who am I? Who am I beyond the illusion of the thoughts that I have? Who am I beyond my identity? Who am I beyond all the belief systems that I've been told that I should have or shouldn't have? And really finding out who we authentically are. And that's a journey of a lifetime. I mean, if you even get to hear what I'm saying, this is a once in a lifetime chance because we've lived so many lifetimes where we've missed that opportunity. So it's at the forefront now, and I plan to be a big force in the world and help to try and share this information and this wisdom with as many people as possible.
Wow, that's impressive, and I can feel it too. I feel it.
Yes,
It
yeah,
is the truth. It is very, yeah, high frequency. Yes. Thank you so much. I have
you're
another
welcome.
question concerning your, is it a platform, right? And
Sure.
you mentioned like technology and two other things. What is the relation to AI? Can I ask this? Are you working with AI? Is it
Good
helping?
question.
Oh,
Good question. We were taught. I was just in Las Vegas at the Super Bowl experiences and all of that, and we went to some meetings on AI, and they talked a lot about AI, saying that if you didn't get on board with AI, you'd be left behind. And so, very fascinating. I don't. I like playing with AI at times. I like to see what it can do, but I don't believe that it replaces the authentic voice. That I don't think it can do that. I think that it's better that it comes from us individually and from our authentic selves. However, things like just campaigning and things like that, it's very interesting to see, can it pull together a campaign, can it pull together a marketing email sequence? And sure enough it can. So I think we're in for some interesting experiences with AI. I but I the soul. I mean, AI will never be as intelligent as the soul. There's just
mhm.
no way, because the soul is the infinite. It is everything. So when you tap into that consciousness, you realize that everything that was ever created in creation is a part of you, and you're a part of it. So good question though.
Yeah, because I read, thank you. And I read somewhere that when you communicate with AI and you do your questions, you put your questions in there, that it connects you to, yeah, let's say infinite intelligence. Like when you are asking questions and it comes back like a reflection or so. I know it cannot replace the,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
what you meant, the soul. Us the soul, it's lacking because it's
Yes.
artificial. But yeah, this is
Yeah.
why I asked this question, you know.
Good
Yes.
question. Yeah, I mean, you're dealing with something that's very intelligent, and I do believe it probably will eradicate some jobs out there. But again, this is where, like, our platform is really lucky because what we're talking about is waking up to something that's inside of you, not something that's outside of you. So we're sort of taking away the distraction on the outside, pulling ourselves back in and going, what is it that I am, and who is it that I am, and finding out the truth of who you are, which is probably the most important journey of a lifetime. It's more important than any job you'll ever have. It's more important than any relationship you'll ever have. And AI can't do that for you. This is something that you have to do yourself. So Yeah, but I do, I mean, I do think AI is fun. At times it can be a lot of fun to play with. So
Yes,
yeah,
definitely. Yes. Thank you so much. And it will also expand. We will know more about it and use it differently as now. No, we are not ready yet. It's the next interview, in 20 minutes. But okay,
yes.
my next question is, because you already covered what inspired you to
Hmm.
build this platform. And now my question is, who inspires you? Are there mentors? Yeah, you mentioned Eckhart Tolle
Yes,
already.
yeah. So I recently went and saw the Dalai Lama, and I was sitting with him for a while. And who inspires me are the real teachers, the true teachers out there. Eckhart Tolle, the Dalai Lama, my teacher Derek O'Neill, Brooke Still, Shafali Sabari, Adi Ashanti. There's some exceptional teachers on the planet right now teaching wisdom, and they're teaching wisdom in a way that will actually help alleviate suffering. And that's what I look for, is like, are they just in it to, build a brand and make a dollar and to do that, or are they actually serving the suffering and helping to alleviate the suffering? Sometimes we can't take the suffering away completely, but we can alleviate parts of it. So those are the ones that I look to. And then I actually have this practice of looking at everybody, because I see everybody as source. So to me, everyone is source, whether they're awake or they're asleep. And I always look at everyone as a messenger. So everyone is showing me who I am, where
Mhm.
I am, what's going on. I'm kind of acutely attuned to paying attention to voices that I hear just passing me by down the street. So it shows me, like, if I see, like, I'll give you an example. If I have clients who come in, and my clients come to me and they say, I'm very, very depressed, and I'm going, then there's something going on inside of me that might be depressed because I'm attracting it. And
Mhm.
so I immediately go, thank you very much. We're not going to, I'll take your money and I'll work with you, but I'm not going to run that energy anymore. And I shift it. But that's kind of how I look at it. So I look up to everybody, actually, to show me where I'm resonating at and where I'm vibrating at. But I definitely have the core teachers who are on the planet today. I should mention, Buddha, Gandhi, Jesus, those, like, all of the big masters that were human, and they walked the planet, and they just woke up and they started to try and teach as best that they could. So those guys too.
Wow, you said two important things. Okay, I have more than two, but I have two questions
Sure.
about it. First of all, when you say you watch everybody because you can learn something, everyone is source. The question, and you sort out, like who wants to build a brand and make a dollar, and then there comes the topic of let's say truth and
Yes.
honesty into play. I
Yes.
see there are you feel this, right? If someone is doing something because of or to get something, or if someone is
Motivation.
really interested, is the intention, really interested in helping people, no matter how much money there is. Okay, we could talk about money for
Correct.
hours,
Correct.
for days now.
I,
And yeah,
I
please.
do think that there's an issue with a lot of spiritual people have a lot of
Mhm.
challenges financially, because they have a something in the psyche that says money is bad or money is good or I can't have money. And money is just frequency. It's just energy. That's all it is. So you could have billions and billions of dollars, and I hope you do, because hopefully you'll do really great things with that financial abundance. If you don't have the financial abundance, though, here's the kicker. A truly enlightened being is one who says, in 1 minute you find out you win the lotto and you've won $1 million, and you say, thank you, God. In the second minute, you find out you have cancer and you're about to die. You can say, thank you, God. And you know no difference between the two. That's
Mhm.
an enlightened mind, because it's a balanced mind, because there's no difference between the experience. Both experiences are coming from love. Both experiences are showing you who you are, and both experiences are coming from source. So that's kind of where I look at it. But like with what we're doing, we I hope we make a tremendous amount of abundance, because I have lots of plans to help a lot of people with that money. And and so there's nothing wrong with it. But it's, I was always been taught that it's our motivation behind what we do that will tell you everything. It'll show you the result of your manifestations out in front of you. Like, what are you manifesting? Well, check your motivation, because your motivation is driving everything.
That's true, and that's the best explanation I ever heard about this.
Oh,
Thank you so much for sharing.
you're
And
welcome.
thank you. I love this clarity. For me as the non-native speaker, it's important to get the message, and for me to
Yes,
translate it, to understand it. And I'm so happy that, yeah, I understand everything. So I had
wonderful.
another question about what you said
Absolutely.
before, about, because it's important. So I'm not asking the questions I normally ask, because I feel inspired to deviate from my schedule. But it's not a it's great.
Sure.
It's a great thing for me. It's a big learning. So
Yes.
you said about the client. Someone comes to you, wants to get coached, and has the bad frequency. This was in short, okay? And you say it is from attracted, something resonates with you, and so therefore it is there. But then, and or not, but the question is, I understood that you say goodbye to that client because you don't want to work with that type of frequency, and you also understood that this comes from past thinking or past manifestation, right? Even though there is no such thing as time, we have always now, etc. So if did I understand it right, that you refuse to work with the person? My question
No.
is, how do you solve it? How do you
Yeah, no,
how do
no,
you
no, no.
solve it that it's
No,
not?
I never say no to the client. I mean, unless they're violent or there's something going
Mhm.
on in that situation. But no, no, no. What I'm saying is that if somebody comes to me and they're holding the energy of depression, I know that depression is not who they are. I know that it's an experience that they're having. What I'm saying is that the reason why I've attracted it is probably because somewhere in my system, I'm running depression on some level. So I've attracted myself on some level. And so I don't say goodbye to them. I learn from them. And then I find out, okay, when they leave, what's going on? Why am I running this energy? Why am I attracting these clients? What's happening? And I pay attention to what's in my external environment completely. And then I go from there. But you never throw away a client. You never throw away anybody ever. Everyone deserves to be loved, and everyone deserves to be have space held. Sometimes you have to have a healthy boundary, and you have to, have like I said, a boundary between you and the client, because their patterns kick in. So sometimes people can become needy and graspy and all sorts of different things. So you have to, and you're constantly, as a teacher, you get projected on all the time. So they're projecting their parents onto you, their childhood wounds onto you, their upbringing onto you, their environment, all those types of things. So you have to be acutely aware of the situation and what's going on and what's needed. But that takes deep training. And I was fortunate enough to spend 15 years studying ancient shamanism, and so we learned very, very powerful techniques on healing, and very filled with grace, that's for sure. But no, I never throw away a client ever. I sometimes I'll just kind of go, hold on a second here, your time for you to step into being a teacher. But yeah, that's usually my rule of thumb, is to never throw away a client.
Okay, so I was wrong. Yeah, I know what it was. It was like the question, how do you solve it? So you work
Oh,
with the client, and then you realize what it is, what resonates
yeah,
within you. So the question would be, so it can appear that the client after that is also depressive because you didn't
correct.
solve it in
Correct.
in yourself or so. Okay.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what I do is I go, oh wow, got the message. Okay, universe, thank you. And I wait till they're gone. So when you're holding a session for somebody and you're doing healing, you aren't healing yourself. That's not about
Mhm.
you at that point.
Mhm.
You step out of the way. You become a clear channel, allowing the divine to come through, and then holding space for that client. And then when the client is gone and you've disconnected from the energy, that's when I look at everything. That's when I go, okay, what just happened there? What just transpired? What did I learn? What did I pick up on? What did I hear? What did I see? All those types of things. And I use my senses to navigate the situation and see what needs shifting within myself. And then I shift it, and then usually the client goes away for a while, because I'm not attracting that same vibration anymore. And so usually I'll attract somebody who's maybe in a state of joy or happiness or peace. So
Oh, I love that. And
yeah,
I understood. Thank you so much.
you're
Okay,
welcome.
Now I have the last question for you,
Sure.
and it is when people reach out to you after listening to this episode, yeah, do you have special offers or services, and how can
We
people
do.
help you with?
Yeah,
Mhm.
we do. We have a platform called uncommonwisdomplatform.com. And it's connected to a marketplace that what we're aiming to do is signing up anybody, even yourself. You could be on this as well. People who are teaching and helping people to heal, people who are conscious, awakened, transformational, things like that. We're looking to onboard them. We have 3 tiers of memberships: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Everything that's outlined in what you get is on the platform, so you can read about it there. Again, it's uncommonwisdomplatform.com. And then we give everybody a landing page that they can have all their services and what they do offer on the landing page. We also give you a section and a place in the marketplace so that you can sell all your services, or gain more clientele through the platform and the marketplace. So it's kind of like the Amazon of consciousness, but it's a little bit different. And then what we do is we do a lot of marketing internally and externally, with the people that we have. We have a lot of connections to media outlets. We have a lot of connections to, publications, and things like that. And so we do our very best. We sit down with you and we find out what are your goals, what are you trying to achieve, and then we see what we can do to make that happen for you. So that's how that works. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. I understand. And I will put the link in the show notes, of course. And
Wonderful.
please, people reach out to, once again, Kjirsten. Oh, wow.
Yes,
This
you
was
got it.
amazing. I love it.
Thank you
Yeah,
very much
I
for
love
having
it.
me. I appreciate
Oh,
you.
it was so amazing. I appreciate you too. It was amazing. I will take a look at your uncommon, how was it, wisdom platform?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll send you an email with the link as well.
Oh, thank you so much. And
Yes,
see you in the next episode.
absolutely. Take care. Have a great day.
You too.